Good afternoon, everyone. So today what we're going to be doing is installing a YakAttack Mighty Mount with the backing plate. So you're going to need a few things for this besides this. And we'll get into that in a second. So what we're going to need a drill with a 1/4 inch bit. You're also going to need some string. Doesn't matter what kind, as long as it fits in the rigging bullets. You're going to need a Sharpie to mark the location for your YakAttack Mighty Mount. The next thing you're going to need is rigging bullets, and they look like this. They're simply hollow threaded rod with a tapered end. The next thing you're going to need is a strong magnet. This is one from drywalling. It's used to mount little templates behind the wall to help you locate them through the drywall. It works really good. And the purpose of this magnet is to guide the rigging bullets through the hull up to the front hatch. And then once these get up to the front hatch, you thread them into the backing plate. You pull the backing plate up into the holes you drill, and then you can secure it. And you don't need any other hull access besides your front hatch. It works pretty slick. The next thing you want to do is separate the backing plate from the packaging. So there's a couple zip ties in here, so just cut them just like this. All right. So there's the Mighty Mount itself. This is what gets mounted on the surface. It's essentially a small gear track. All right, and then this is the backing plate. And you see it's essentially a plastic plate with some nuts in it, and they're 1/4 inch 20. So this goes underneath in between the hull and the actual Mighty Mount, just like that. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the actual Mighty Mount and a Sharpie to draw the drill holes. All right. So this is pretty simple. You just want to make sure it's, if you have one on the other side, make sure it's in the same location so it looks symmetrical. So we're going to do that here in a second. All right. So what we're going to do now, I've got this positioned where I want it. We're going to use the Sharpie to mark the 4 holes. Alright, so we're going to take the Sharpie, and we're simply going to mark the 4 holes that we're going to drill. Alright, so let me see if I can, so you can see this. I want to make sure it's kind of straight centered on the hull where you want it. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we're going to put the Sharpie in. There we go, that's it. So I marked the 4 holes. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little close up here so you can see this. So right there we have our 4 holes. Now we're gonna drill them. All right, so we have our drill. Position the drill and try and drill in as straight as possible. 2 holes. Okay, we're gonna make sure that we didn't screw anything up here. Yep, perfect. All right, so we're gonna continue on. We're gonna drill the next hole. Make sure you clean them up a little bit. Alright, so there we go. That's perfect. Everybody can see that. There's the holes, and they do line up. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to grab the hardware. Alright, so inside your packaging for the Mighty Mount, this is where your hardware is. Alright, so what you want to do is take that out, and these are 1/4 inch 20 bolts, and so these are going to screw into the backing plate. And we're going to use the rigging bullets to get the backing plate up to here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take these out and just put them through to make sure that everything lines up. Sometimes you might have to like enlarge the hole a little bit if it doesn't quite fit right. So we're going to put that one in. Okay. That one. That one. And finally the last one. Boom. Perfect. All right, so all we have to do now is we have to take these rigging bullets, we're going to put string through them, we're going to tie a knot on the end, and then we're going to guide them through the hull to the front hatch. And then we'll screw these into the backing plate and we'll pull them up through, and you'll see one will come out here and one will come out here. And then we'll use these two to secure it, and we'll pull the rigging bullets through and finally put in the last two screws. What you're going to do now is take your thread, alright? So these are hollow. So what we're going to do, we're going to thread it right on through, and then we're going to tie a little knot on the end. Alright, so we're just going to tie a couple overhand knots. Alright. So just like that. Everyone see that? That's all this is. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. Let's set these aside. What we're going to do is we're going to use our magnet, and we're going to guide this to the front of the kayak. Alright, so it pushes in. Alright, then you take your magnet and put it here. And what you want to do is get it down there so you hear it grab. Alright, so it's grabbed it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide it down, and we're going to get this to the front of the kayak. So we're going to end up doing this twice. We're going to do once here and once here. Alright everyone, so I got these pulled through the front hatch. Okay, so what you do is you pull all the way from the front hatch, and I had to make sure that this was over the wires and the steering tubes and all that. So what you do is you pull them up. You'll see the rigging bullets will go into the holes. There you go, that's it. Put these over these rigging bullet studs that came through, and then we're going to screw in the two other ones that don't have the rigging bullet. Then we unscrew the rigging bullets and finish the install. Now, you can put some silicone around here if you want. I'm not going to bother because I don't fish like in rough water and all that stuff. This isn't going to take on a bunch of water from here. If I need to, I can always loosen them up a little bit later and squirt some silicone under there. So what we do, one goes there, and we do the same thing for the other one. Now, we're going to take our hardware. These are 1/4 inch 20 screws, stainless steel. YakAttack does a good job on these. So what we're going to do is we're going to start these in the other two holes. Alright, sometimes you got to do a little finagling. That one's in. And we're going to take the other corner, do the same thing. Okay, so that's in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take out these. So we just unscrew these. Okay, there we go. Start the next one. Okay. And finally we take out the last one. You just unscrew it. Tighten them up and you're done. There we go. Finished install. Solid as a rock. Thanks for watching BassMan Strikes Kayak Fishing. If you like this video, please click the subscribe and like buttons. If you would like to be notified of new content, click the bell button. If you have any questions about lures, equipment, etc., please leave a comment. Also, be sure to check out our Facebook page and join our group Black Bass Central. Links will be in the description. We'll see you next time.